What's going on, everybody? It's been quite a while since we've done one of these. Sorry, I'm not very organized at the moment. Had a lot going on, as I'm sure I've said several times by now. But it's about time we got back to some painting. Wow, that really dried out. I don't know why that is so bad. Jeez. My castle in green has just turned into like a paste. It's pretty unfortunate, but as you probably saw in the title, I'm painting a orc. This is actually the first orc that I ever owned. And actually, sorry, it's the first 40K model that I ever painted. This was, I painted this a number of years ago, and then actually gave it to a friend when he started his orc army. He has since stopped collecting orcs, and so I got my model back. So I thought, I'm starting a small orc army, as well, I thought it would be fun to paint him back up as the first model of that army, as he was my first model ever. Just going to be starting with the skin, and then we'll go from there. Probably do a couple little streams today, just while I'm at work, and hopefully we'll get this guy done by the end of the weekend. This was super short notice. I'm not really expecting anybody to show up or too many people to show up. It's looking alright. I'm not fully decided on skin tone wise for these orcs. This will be the first one I've painted, so we're just going to kind of mess around and see where we end up, and then that'll be what I do going forward for the rest of them. This is a fully kit bashed orc army as well. I haven't shown it off too much, other than the stomp. The stomp is the only thing that's done, so I'm sure you guys have seen that. And then I've posted I've got a kit bashed war boss and a kit bashed big mech. The big mech I know is the Blackstone Fortress guy as a base. Or no, sorry, not Blackstone Fortress. Assault on Blackreach. Sorry, that old orc box set that everybody likes so much. I know it's the war boss from that's the base for the big mech. But yeah, I've got a small kit bashed orc army on the go. Basically, the plan was I just wanted to have Gorkanaut, Morkanaut, Stompa, and then that's basically the army, and then just whatever little guys I need to fill out a 2,000 point army. It's slightly more than that now, as I don't have the Gorkanaut, Morkanaut yet, but I have all the other stuff, and I ended up just through various means, I ended up having like I've got a couple trucks now. I've got a unit of grots or goblins that I didn't originally plan on having, so it's slightly more already than I thought it would be, but that's fine. But yeah, it's almost, even for me, it's almost getting to be a little bit overwhelming, just because we have so much happening in 40K and so much coming out all at once that I between want or is an army I play. We've got all this new Kroot stuff coming now, which obviously I'm going to need at least one of those. We've got the World Eaters coming out, and of course I have pretty good sized World Eaters army. I've got this orc stuff I'm working on. I've got the space pirate stuff to finish. Lots and lots and lots of stuff to keep me busy. And I have less time than ever, just because of life stuff. Oh, and I'm starting a whole nother new army, the Kroot Demon Army, which I actually just ordered some more, the next thing for that, so I'm pretty pumped to start on that. Alright, so we've got the first layer of green down on this guy. Now, what we will do is we'll start brightening up. I'm not going to do the wash yet. That'll come later. We'll do some recess shading. Yeah, that'll come later. I'm actually going to go a little bit more blue-green for these orcs. I'm thinking between, so I started with Castellan green, and then we're going to have some Skarsnik and some, what's this, Sybarite, I think? This one, obviously, we're getting pretty blue with that, so I'm going to keep mixing these together, and we'll just get to a point where I'm happy, and then that's what I'll stick with. I'm not sure if I'm going to do, I thought about maybe doing like some war paint on these guys. Not sure yet how I feel about that. We might. We might. But yes, I'm not worrying about necessarily, like, this is still just layering. This isn't highlights or, and I'm not going to do the shading yet. Just going over all the major surfaces of skin. What I did was I just mixed about 50-50 of that Skarsnik green with the original Castellan green there. Now we're getting a bit brighter. Yeah, that's already looking pretty good. I've started doing this more now. I'm really enjoying just like picking one part of the model and like doing it to completion. Whereas before I would do like all the base colors and then start highlighting and working my way up from there. Now I'm doing more where I like, because it's like you get that little sense of completion every time you finish a part of the model, rather than it's like you get nothing and then all of a sudden the model's all finished. It's like little rewards or little like checkpoints along the way. I don't know. I've been liking it. Yep, not being super neat yet, just going over all the surfaces again. Not quite hitting all of them, but almost. We're leaving the recesses with that original Castellan green. Orcs have such like well-defined muscles and whatever on their arms. It's very easy to paint. I think I've said this before too. I found that I much more enjoy painting like organic surfaces to, even though I don't really paint clean, like I'm more grimdark style, I would say. I still just like the freedom of painting like skin and whatnot, because just so that you can be messier without having to worry about it. You can blend better without having to worry about it. Getting quite a bit brighter now. Hope that's going to focus for me. I'm going to focus more if it's back here. Getting there. Now I'll probably mix in a little bit of this Sybarite green. Everybody ignore that brush lick, it didn't happen. I have no proof. So we've got 3 colors so far involved in this orc skin recipe. See if this ends up being too blue for me, we'll see. So now I am being a bit neater. This would be like our first highlight layer. Hitting all the raised areas of the face. Now we'll go on to his arms. Again, not being crazy neat, but neat enough. Neat enough to call it the first highlight. I don't know if anybody's watching right now, but I'm just gonna say it right now so it's on the record. I'm not terribly impressed with the new Berserker kit. Like, obviously I'm pumped because it's World Eaters and that they're getting some much needed attention, but not terribly impressed with the kit. It holy, somebody's aggressively coming up those stairs. It really is just like they it looks like somebody else's just like kit bash of like, it looks just like the current Chaos Marines with a slightly you know, slightly kit bashed. Not even kit bashed, like they just took the Forge World kit or whatever and mixed it with the new Chaos Marines box. Like they look cool, they look like Berserkers, but they look like something that anybody could have made quite easily, and I don't know if that was the point, because so many people have already kit bashed their World Eaters armies, they didn't want them to, but there's no way, because GW is not like that. If anything, they would want you to go and rebuy a whole new army. So yeah, I don't know why. Like, compared to like Thousand Suns and Death Guard, the other like more unique Chaos Marines, night and day difference. Like, they're not even close to as unique looking, in my opinion. And that might be a bit of a hot take, I don't know. Maybe everybody else, like, it's like I'm super pumped that they're coming and that they are a thing, but I'm kind of just looking at them and I'm like, I really could have just made these myself. There's nothing I see in there that's like, oh, I need this over what I could do, or like literally anybody could do. Like, you literally would just buy the Forge World kit. It's just like a head swap and, you know, maybe like a slight weapon swap or whatever to get the chain axes. But other than that, there's nothing really that stands out. I don't know if I should just leave it at that. Maybe try one more slightly brighter layer. Final highlight. I'm really, for me and my usual standards, I'm trying to like go all out for this guy just because it's the first orc for the army, my first, redoing my first model ever painted and all that, so I really want to do like some of my best work on this guy. If that makes sense. Okay, I think that is skin tones done. And I haven't used any washes yet. I kind of meant to do that in between. What I'm going to do now is to get real spicy with it. Which one do I like? Which one do I like? Oh, I'm going to actually try Reikland Flesh Shade. I'm just going to put that in some of the recesses. Maybe not even all of them. Just some. See how we like that. I might have to touch up some highlights too when I'm done this. So water that down a little bit. It's not too crazy. You get too hog wild with the washes right off the bat. Yeah, I think that was good. I was debating a green wash, a purple wash. I find, like, depending what you recess wash something with, it makes a huge difference in the overall look. Like, really changes how it all looks together quite a lot, I find. And I know there's like a set, like, oh, you do this, then you do this, then you do this, you layer, then you highlight, or sorry, you do your base coats, then you wash, then you highlight, you build up, blah blah whatever. Like, I'm kind of more, I don't know, I never really followed any of that too much. Like, lots of times I'm doing the washes as the last step, sometimes I'm doing it as like the second step. It really just depends. Yeah, I think that's looking pretty good. For skin tones to be mostly done. This guy has a lot of different textures and whatnot going on actually, so probably going to spend a good amount of time just deciding what's going to be what. Obviously there's a good amount of that'll be like gunmetal and whatever, but oh. Peace. Anybody else hear that back crack? Alright, so let's see here. We can get to focus. Come on. If I put my hand behind it, that do it better? Maybe. Oh, why it focuses on me just fine. It just does not like the miniature. I don't know. I don't know. It looks pretty good though. Here, actually, I know what I can do. Come on. Let me do it. Yay! There we go. Flip the camera. There we go. There's how our skin tones are looking so far. Get over here in the better light. Pretty bright greenish blue. You can see that wash we did added a fair amount of depth to him. So probably gonna call this first stream there, but I will be doing more later on. So if you want to check back in and see how this guy's doing. I'm not sure what I'll do next. I'll probably do probably want to like, I don't know. I'll have to decide what the other colors are going to be for him. My orcs are meant to be goths, so like his armor is probably going to be black and white, and I might do something fancy, like try to do some checkers or something on his big choppa. But yeah, so this is going to be my first orc from my little orc army. Pretty happy with him so far. It's fun to paint. So, anyways, thanks for watching if you did, and see you guys in the next one. Bye for now.